What's up, guys? So yesterday I tried to take the shopping go-kart on its first test drive, but the fuel pump went out on us and I didn't bother to try to diagnose what happened to this thing. I just assumed it was junk, trash, throw it away, get a new one on the way. But I actually went home yesterday and I was talking to Hayden and he told me that he had the same issue on one of his friend's cars, and they just ran the pump in reverse and it actually freed the pump up because it just had some gunk built up in there or something just caused it to seize up, and they just ran it backwards, freed it up, and sure enough, I took this thing off the go-kart and I hooked it up to a jump box backwards and it spun freely. And then when I went to plug it in the correct way, it is now spinning once again. And then I went ahead and hooked a air blower up to it and just blew this thing out as best I could. And it appears to be working perfectly now. So I'm getting ready to install the fuel pump back on the go-kart. I also got a keyway back on this wheel right here. So now this one is powered and the cart's not gonna pull to the side really hard when I give it gas. And another thing I'm getting ready to do right now is I took the little switch panel I made a very long time ago for this thing, and it is finally time, guys, to hole saw these guys out. Right here I wrote boost coming soonish. I mean, that was definitely written on there over a year ago. Then right here I wrote AF for air fuel gauge. I got both the gauges right here, and then I have a 2-inch hole saw on my drill. So I'm gonna go ahead and drill that out and then get those installed on there, run a line to my boost gauge, and then I might try to wire up the Y band just for now. And I know I said the go-kart probably wasn't ready for its first test drive, but you know, if I get all this stuff put back on, I'm probably gonna end up driving it again and seeing if we can't make boost in this thing. And I know in the last video, I just left it on the eco mode or whatever, and I had the wideband that the kit came with plugged in there, but I think I'm gonna put the AEM wideband back in just so I can monitor the air fuels and make sure this thing isn't leaning out under boost. And one more thing on the fuel pump real quick is something definitely got down inside there to clog it up and keep it from spinning. And I'm guessing it was either a piece of aluminum from when I tapped the bottom of my tank out for that bigger fitting. I did my best to clean the tank out, but maybe I didn't get all of it. Or it could have been a piece of rubber because the hose I'm using to feed this pump is not rated for fuel. It's like a soft coolant line. It's like really squishy, and the fuel might be breaking down the inside of that line just ever so slightly. So maybe some bits of rubber are going down inside of that pump, and I'm not running any sort of fuel filter on this at all, so it definitely will help to have a filter on there. If I had a filter on this thing, that probably would have not happened. And the kit did come with this filter right here, but this is made to go after the pump. It didn't come with anything to go before the pump, so anything from the tank to the pump is completely unfiltered, and I definitely need to figure that out. And you know, it'll just be better to have that. But for now, I'm probably just gonna run it without it because you guys know me. I just send it, whatever. If it clogs up again, I definitely know it's because it's my fault, but it's a risk I am willing to take. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this switch panel drilled out and get our gauges installed. I got my panel hole sawed out to fit the gauges. I got my boost gauge and air fuel gauge on there. I went ahead and ran the vacuum line to the boost gauge, and then as you can see, the Y band already has power. I wired it up already, and the sensor is back in the bung right there. So this is the AEM one, and I don't have the one that came with the kit on there anymore. And then I took the system out of the eco mode, wherever that switch is down here. So it is on open loop now. So it is not going to be looking for that Y band reading. I'm just going to be watching it myself. And yeah, everything's wired up. I have the jump box in the seat right now. I'm just going to sit on it while I try to drive it. And then I just have those cables going to the battery down here. And then this one's just grounded on the chassis. But yeah, we're gonna try this again, guys. See if we can actually get a good first test drive and see if this thing will make some boost. So I'm excited. Hopefully everything goes well this time, and we'll just see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't blow up.
Attempt number 2.
You can do it, man.
You hear that turbo?
A little pop between gears.
Yeah. Thing sounds sick.
Little turbo go-kart.
All right.
This is maiden voyage.
If you need to stop for groceries, you're all set.
Right?
Just drug it across the street.
You know him.
He didn't want to get hit.
Smart man. That's where it ended.
Well, it made it further than last time. What happened?
I know, my GoPro wasn't going either.
Oh crap.
Bro, I think it sounded nasty when you took off.
It was going though.
It
No, it
sounded
works.
good.
It just breaks up. It makes like, I can hold it at like 7 pounds and it has enough fuel for it, but then if I try to floor it, it just starts to run away. But you can definitely, it's definitely making more power. You can definitely feel it spool up. So.
You can hear it spool up.
Yeah,
Yeah, it sounds sick.
Video or not.
I think you can. Because you could hear it pretty good.
Let me put a little blow off valve on it. All right guys, I had to run back to the shop real quick because the bolt on the shifter fell out once again. This thing just rattles everything loose and I need to put like a nylon lock nut on there or something, but I just got a new one on there and I'm getting ready to fire it back up and drive it back down the road again. I did not have my helmet cam on for that one, so I do apologize. Hopefully this GoPro on the steering wheel got the gauges pretty good. It was holding a solid like 6 to 7 PSI and the air fuels were pretty good. And if I tried to give it more gas, it would start to lean out. So that tells me it needs more fuel. I'm not sure if we're running out of fuel at the injector or if the tune just needs to be enhanced more and the injector can keep up with a little bit more power. But guys, this thing is definitely making more power, 100%. It feels really cool. You can definitely feel the boost kick in, and I am not kidding you guys. We'll put this on the dyno. It is definitely making at least like 5 or more horsepower than it was before. You can definitely feel it, but I'm gonna go ahead and rip it again.
That's sick.
You can hear it too.
Yeah, a little.
It was going to 17? Damn. You're gonna launch it? That thing sounds sick. That thing took off, bro. That thing took off.
Badass, dude. Holy crap. It was just like, wow. That was sick.
If you give that thing some fuel, it's gonna rip, dude. It's already like, it's fast.
It looks fun.
It needs more gearing bad. Because I think it tops out at 50 on those and it's getting there quick. Like it needs more.
Holy crap.
Like it doesn't have time to
Your
really
wheelie
let it
was like-
spool.
Bro, that launch was
It
sick.
rode the wheelie out hard.
Rode it way hard. It looks so cool.
I don't know if you can hear me. It's like when I go by, the compressor flutters now.
Yeah, we can hear it.
No, you can hear it.
It's like a little blow-off valve. It's like,
yeah, we hear it.
Even
like,
when
it
you
would
were.
make a blow-off valve pop for sure.
Oh,
I want to put like a little HKS on it. Make
It sounds so cool.
make it chirp. Like,
So cool.
it definitely needs. I was worried I might blow it up, but I just like I was flooring it. But it was like going. It was going so lean. So I don't know.
Fuel it.
I don't know how we're gonna like try to tune it while driving. You know. Or it's like we can get to that
pull over
dyno
and
again.
just put fuel at the top line, you know, and then go out. And
Keep
fuel.
trying it. I'll plug the laptop into it real quick and just highlight the bottom corner of the map and just give it a lot.
Yeah.
Just max out the injector.
That's what you're gonna do.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna make.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's gonna have enough to keep up.
No.
Dude, it definitely makes power. You can feel it. Like it feels cool.
Hey, you can see it.
It makes power.
It was awesome.
It's working.
And the wheelie was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because it rode out, so it looks so
You gotta get a slow-mo of that thing.
Yeah.
It looks
That's
sick.
what we said too. It needs a slow-mo.
Oh, we're just maxing her out on fuel.
Real quick.
See what happens. Well, we just got done with the first test drive on the shopping go-kart with the turbo kit and everything installed, and she officially makes boost. That test drive was successful, and I hope I got a good shot of the gauge with the GoPro that was on the steering wheel because it was holding a solid like 8 to 10 PSI throughout the pull, and you can definitely feel it. I feel like it's gonna make even more boost if we adjust the tune because on the top end, it seems to be breaking up. Their fuel gauge was starting to peak like 17 and up, which is really, really lean, and I should have let out, but I stayed in it because it felt cool. But we definitely need to give it some more fuel up top because even though we're forcing more fuel into it or more air into it, without the extra fuel, it's not gonna be able to burn all of that and make the extra power. So, I mean, it's working though. So we let it cool off. She's working great. I've never felt it hold a wheelie out that hard.
It was sick.
So
It was awesome.
it launched hard.
Fun.
And it was also making enough boost in that little chamber right there that when I would let off the gas, you could actually hear the air coming back out the compressor wheel, and it would kind of compressor surge and make little choo-choo sounds. So hopefully the camera picked that up as well. I do want to put a blow-off valve on this guy right here because I think it's making enough boost, and I think there's going to be enough volume in here to open even like a full-size like HKS blow-off valve. I want that blow-off valve to be heard and obvious, like maybe get one that whistles really loud, but yeah, we put some more fuel in it up top. So we're gonna take it back out here in a second after it cools off for a bit and see if that did anything. But if it still goes lean, then we know that the injector is just not enough for it.
It's not just too small.
Yep. The company that made this kit, Ecotrons, they do make another injector that's about twice the size of this one as far as how much fuel it can flow. So I think I'm gonna get that one ordered and on the way as well. But everything else is working great. Fuel pump is holding up. It didn't clog on us again. And the battery hasn't fallen off this thing yet. So we're doing good.
We're doing
and
great.
she made boost.
It's so fun.
It's quick.
It was awesome to watch. You were flying.
Yeah, and dude, you can definitely hear the turbo just ripping, dude. It's sick. So yeah, we're getting ready to take it back out here in a second, just letting it cool off like I said. But we'll see if adding that fuel into the tune helped it at all. Alright guys, so I put the shopping go-kart up for tonight. I was going to drive it again after we made some adjustments to the tune, but the jump box was starting to get really weak, and I just decided to call it for tonight. And there's still just a lot of little things I need to do to this thing before I drive it again. And I know I keep saying, oh, I'm gonna fix this, I'm gonna fix that before I drive it, but I ended up just hacking it together just so I can drive it. And I do that not only to make content for you guys, but I'm genuinely like excited to see what it does. I wanted to feel the little turbo on this thing. So I definitely hacked it together for this video. Once again, no big surprise, you guys know me. But I mean it when I say it this time. I'm not driving this thing until I get a battery mounted, until I get the oil pump for the turbo figured out and clean up the wiring, mount the gas tank. There's still a lot of little things I need to do. I need to mount the start button again, so I'm not back there jumping it with the wire. I need an actual push start button. I need to clean up this wideband wiring and just a whole bunch of little things. Need to get a seat that's not this one in there. I don't like that one very much. It flops around, it's not mounted. I need to fix the brakes because I busted the brakes and I was doing all that driving with absolutely no brakes. I'd just downshift to slow down wasn't really that sketchy. I need a throttle cable because right now I'm using a piece of electrical wire as my throttle cable, so I need to change that. And also in the future, I want to upgrade to a steel axle. Right now this is a 1-inch aluminum axle, and then I want to upgrade that to the steel one because the aluminum one has a bit of flex. I could add like a middle carrier bearing to help with that, but the steel axle alone will help with that a lot. It'll be much stronger. And another thing later on I might try is this little turbo was sent to me by a subscriber. It's awesome, it's making boost great. And I'm not sure how much more boost it's going to make with the fueling correct. I feel like it's really trying to like take off, honestly. So I feel like we're gonna need a wastegate, and something I might do just to see if it helps this thing run better is I might order another one of these turbos with the internal wastegate. They sell these online identical to this one for 150 bucks. And they are from China, so it might take it a while to get here, but I might try to put that other turbo on there with a wastegate and see if we can't get it dialed in at a set boost pressure, because having no wastegate on this thing might make it a little harder to tune. But if we have a set one that's like right at 10 or 12 PSI and we know it can't make more than that, then adjusting the fuel and stuff might be easier, you know, just for now. Because later on I do want to try to turn this thing up. I want to see what this motor can handle. She is not going to get off easy. If this little turbo maxes out and this thing's still holding, we're upgrading this to a bigger turbo, and we're just going to keep going with this go-kart till something pops. But overall, I had a lot of fun today. The shopping cart was ripping. She officially is making boost, and yeah, that was a blast. Tomorrow I'm going to be working on the twin turbo MR2. Got some stuff in for that, and then I believe the next day after that I'm going to be focusing on the Prelude because we're getting it ready for a race this weekend. So I got some goodies coming in for this guy right here. But that is going to be it for tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe if you guys haven't already. I feel like I never put that at the end of the video, but I know a lot of you guys aren't subscribed. So definitely subscribe. Like the video if you enjoyed seeing the shopping cart make boost. And that's going to be it. See ya.